Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for ICONversations. The ICON program is designed to celebrate our company's top producers. These agents have gone far above capping status and are now earning back their paid company dollar with various stock grants, which are earned by reaching exceptional milestones. Today, from Ohio, we have Gordon Green. From Ontario, Canada, we have Kunal Tiagi. From British Columbia, we have John Cooper. From Ontario, we have Will Mansauer. And our moderator today from Pennsylvania is Chris Hennessy. Chris, take it away.
Hey, thanks so much, Brian. Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to our conversation. And thanks to all of you for showing up today, whether you're on YouTube or you're in the world or you're just listening. I'm looking forward to talking. And as a starter question, one of the things that I think would be a great way to launch into our discussion today is just to give an idea at a high level. Maybe before we do that, I'd like to just hear from each of you guys, maybe in 30 seconds, about how long you've been in real estate, how long you've been at EXP, and maybe a fun fact or unique fact about yourself. And then from there, we'll go into some questions. So Will, I'll start with you.
Hey everyone, my name is Will Mansauer. I am located in Toronto, Ontario. I've been with EXP 5 years and with a other brokerage 16 prior to that. So if you do the math, that's 21. Currently, I'm still very active in buying and selling with my sphere, which I do a lot of business with. But a couple of years ago, I decided to challenge myself and take that 90-10 sphere to cold leads to 70-30. And as a result of that, I created something pretty cool, which I might get into with you guys today, but that's a little snapshot on me. Nice to hear your voice again, Chris. I know we spoke a while ago.
Yeah, that's great to see you and hear you too, Will. Thanks so much. All right, John, you're next.
Yeah, hey everybody. I've been in the business. I'm in my 17th years. 6-time EXP ICON agent. I serve in Nanaimo, British Columbia, which is a town of about 100,000 people on Vancouver Island. And I guess fun fact about me, when I'm not helping people buy and sell real estate, I'm a professional MMA referee.
Very cool. MMA referee. Wow. Awesome. Thanks so much, John. And Kunal, I'd love to hear a little bit about you.
Yeah, hi Chris, and hello everyone. This is Kunal Tiagi from Kitchener, Ontario. I might be the youngest on the panel. I started my real estate journey and EXP journey 2 years back, and I was able to get my ICON title both years. And I'm into my 3rd year and hoping to get same. The one thing I like about EXP is that I have an IT background, and I like the cloud brokerage concepts and the way EXP, the same thing what we are right now on this forum, that shows how digitally we are advanced. So I'm here to share whatever I learn and whatever works for me with this group. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Kunal. And then Gordon, let's hear a little bit about your background as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really proud to be here today, guys. So my name is Gordon Green. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been licensed as a real estate agent for the last 10 years. Actually started off as an ISA for a mega team at another brokerage, became a listing specialist and started building from there. I've been with EXP since November of 2023. So my wife and I, Tidra, we started our journey really at the beginning of 2024, building a team, and we ICONed in our first year. So very exciting. Lots of hard work, as you guys know. A little fun fact about me, I spent 10 years as a Army recon scout, ended out as a sergeant, got out in 2013, and then transitioned into real estate.
Very cool. Wow. Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, we've got 3 Canadians and 2 Americans on the panel today. My name is Chris Hennessy. I've been in real estate for about 21 years in the suburban Philadelphia market. And I've been at EXP. This is my 4th year at EXP and my 3rd year of iconing. So hopefully I'm going to hit it again. And looking forward to talking with all you guys. A little fun fact about myself is I lived overseas for a year in Denmark and a year in Israel. And really love international. Another attraction to EXP. I don't sell real estate internationally, but I love the fact that we are an international company. So with that said, let's start a little bit of a starter question I was thinking about is, As we all get into this business, a lot of agents don't have deep pockets. What would you 3 or 4 gentlemen suggest to newer agents listening in our audience that is 100% free, that would bring them value as agents as they launch into their career? So let's start with Gordon and we'll work back.
Yeah, this is a great question. So, as we've been building our team, we've been working with newer agents and talking about great ways that they can connect and build out their book of business. The one thing I evangelized, and the guys in the front row there supporting us will definitely agree to this, is putting together a robust referral network. And it costs just as much as picking up the phone, inviting somebody out for coffee, sitting down and building a relationship. A lot of our business and our success comes from our referral base. When I first started in this business, I was cold calling every single day, 7:30, to noon, basically. It cost my time and stress, of course, but it wasn't very expensive to get the software and the leads. That's a great way, but really, at the end of the day, it's building a robust network of great people that you can refer business to back and forth.
That's awesome. And that's a low cost right there, because it's just belly to belly in a coffee shop. I mean, maybe you pay for a coffee, but all right. Kunal?
Yeah, so I would say that apart to what you get from a social media, because that would help me in the day one when I was new, and I'm still pretty new. So apart to that, I say is go in the field. And I say in the field, yes, we do a lot of work and the laptop, but when we going, even the leads are not promising, but we never know what comes as output. So meet more people, talk to more people. Like Gordon said, have your cold calling, find out each and every possible way, which is free of cost, and try to interact with the people, because the business we are in is the interaction with the people. And maybe it's a ratio of 3% to 10% out of 100, we might able to bring some of them as our future clients, maybe not immediately, down the line. And that's how we build the pipeline, and this
Awesome.
all is
Yeah,
free.
that's great. That's awesome. Thanks so much. John, how about you?
No cost way to generate business for a new agent is consistent attendance at community events. But more than just attending, make sure that you're showing up, knowing your stuff. So whether just have some market statistics that off the back of your hand that you can speak of, so that you can consistently show up at community events, speaking competently about real estate.
Awesome. Yeah, you're right. Just getting out there. That's great. And Will, what would you suggest?
Oh, so you guys all touched on it. That's the downside of going last. But to this day, I still have 3 belly to belly conversations with people that I know, like, and trust, and know, like, and trust me. My business is all referrals. Mostly it was. It's not anymore. But belly to belly, face to face conversations, coffees, coffees for closers, right? So
Yeah.
I definitely am big on that. And the other thing is showing up for yourself. I used to run a mastermind every week. And I found that, I was showing up for everybody and they weren't showing up for themselves. And if you're the only employee of your company. So if you don't show up, then you are closed for business. Same with prospecting. If you are not prospecting, you're unemployed. You're only as good as your next deal. So you must show up. It's super important. I can't stress it enough.
Yeah. Well, that's great. What I would say, one nugget that has helped me in my business, especially early on, that was very low cost, it was postage, was writing a handwritten note after you might have a conversation with a college buddy or someone from your church or your synagogue. After you have those conversations that are belly to belly or in a coffee shop or whatever, is to follow it up with a handwritten note, and you'll blow people's minds, especially with the generation now that's coming up. I've got kids in their 20s and they don't write notes. Nobody writes a note or a letter and puts it in the mail. But if you do that, the power of that note, that you took time for that person, showed them enough that you listen to them and you care, and you just pop in your business card and say, hey, it was great talking with you about whatever, or I really enjoyed meeting you the other day, blah, blah, blah. And I tell you, I walked into a living room probably 10 years ago, And the woman held it up to me and she goes, I held on to this for 4 years until I was ready to sell my house. So the power of a personal note, and I'm taking this from Brian Buffini, was really, really impactful. I have gotten away from that in my business over the last few years, and I'm trying to get back into it. My handwriting is not good, but hey.
Hey, Chris, I
yeah.
was a Buffini training mentor for 10 years, and I got away from it too. I just sent out over 500 Happy New Year personal notes.
Yeah.
My phone is ringing off the hook to get belly to bellies. I have a lunch every day next week because of sending out those notes.
Yeah.
And I have 7 listing appointments.
Oh, unbelievable. See, the power of that note is so critical. And yeah, we can all go give our credit card to Meta and start spending on boosting the Facebook posts, Instagram reels, and yada, yada, yada. But that's just like a lot of noise. It doesn't really impact the people that are in your community or in your backyard that are going to really trust you to list their home or to help them buy. So with that in mind, I'd love to go to the next question. So now we're getting these leads, we're getting referrals, we're getting people that are calling us. How do we track them in the systems and have systems in place to keep these people organized? Because once it starts to flood at you, which is what we want, what do you do to track them and keep them organized? And I'll go to John.
So, I mean, I got my start in database marketing before I ever got in real estate. I worked for a software company out of university doing database marketing. So I've been sort of hoarding contact information for the last 30, 40 years. And I've always had a database. I've had a CRM since the day I started in this business. Currently, we use the Lofty platform. We had it before EXP offered it, but it's a great offering. So it's the sort of website connected to the CRM, which provides a good amount of data on client behavior within the website. But yeah, we use Lofty. Awesome. And as far as keeping up with them, other than them triggering activity based on their own actions on the website, I about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now, turned a monthly email newsletter that I'd been doing for 15 years, turned it into a weekly email newsletter. And that's been really, really valuable in keeping in touch with my clients.
Awesome.
And prospects.
That's great. That's an awesome way to keep it organized. Kunal, what system or process do you use to kind of organize your business?
So as I'm pretty new, so I'm still using my local database. But what I do, like I have certain reminders established, like so what is my birthday date, so my clients or their marriage anniversary or the year of anniversary of the house. So for my previous clients and also some of my potential clients, what is their, if like I got 2 listing appointments last week and they want me to follow back in the spring market, which is somewhere April and May. So I have my own internal database with the reminders to be in touch with them.
Okay, great. All right, so then Gordon.
Yeah, so we have our team basically living inside of their CRM, working their database. We also have a lead provider. I'm not going to mention their name right now, but we're a top agent on there and we're a premier. So if that gives you any hints, but they have a really great automated software working with showing time. So we get real-time tours. We get leads that come in already pre-ready to show a home. It gets onto our calendar. It goes into our inbox and our CRM. Just trying to keep all that automated, because if you try to remember the names of 500 people in your database and what their birthdays are, when you last talked to them, invariably you're going to slip. So you have to live and die by your CRM. Has to be a good one. We have found that simple equals more effective. So we'd rather have something that's more pared down and just does the bare basics for us, and has some of that automation rather than all the bells and whistles.
Okay. Yeah. Good advice. And Will, what about yourself? What do you do to organize your leads?
So in 2023, I generated this program. I spent $4,700 and generated over $124,000 in GCI. And this program is now, I built it. It's 27 modules. And basically how it works is the leads come in through our hook ads. I use KV Core. I've tried other stuff, and KV Core, has been great for my business. It doesn't have everything else, but those leads come in. As soon as they come in, my ISA gets them. She's my appointment setter. But they're also set up on drip campaigns. They're targeted leads for a specific niche. And, they're warm leads. There's no fact finding here. They're coming in based on the hook ads I'm running that's targeting them, those specific people. And, some of them aren't ready, but, her job is to get me belly to belly with those people. And so that I can build rapport like and trust with them in person. If they're not ready to develop rapport like and trust with me in person, I'm doing it over video. My back end is my whole business is automated. I don't got time to sit here and build newsletters. I got my January newsletter for 2023 is my January newsletter for 2025. It's evergreen, but it's targeted information to that specific targeted audience. So the pipeline is definitely filling up. I have to turn my ads off because the leads are coming in. And you don't want to get too overwhelmed with them because you're spending money on them. So you want to make sure that you're definitely doing what you're supposed to be doing with those leads. So I use KV Core. The CRM's fine. I eat, sleep, and drink KV Core. I know all about it, and I'm using it to its full capacity, which is allowing me to crush it.
Awesome. That's great. All right, guys, now we're going to switch from, the nitty gritty of managing these relationships, which can sometimes be overwhelming if you don't have a good system and if you don't get in it every day. And I think all of us are doing that or trying to. I use KV Core for the larger systems of automation, and then I use the Referral Maker, which is Brian Buffini's more relationship driven, for my top 250, where I do know their birthdays, their kids, their vacations, their social media, and I kind of connect on that level. Going forward, though, as we have all just been through a kind of challenging year of 2024 to some degree, challenging in different ways, I would say. And the real estate market is always changing. So, and we're all from different markets. How have you guys navigated the changes in the market over the past 12 months? So, we've been doing this all for years. So what shifted or changed for us individually over the last 12 months to kind of get through maybe some difficult roller coasters? Gordon, we'll start with you.
Yeah, great question. So 2023 was a very tough year. 2024 was even tougher, I feel like, for a lot of agents. We were able to navigate from the hardest year in our career in 2023 to the most successful year in 2024. I think a lot of that has to do with the fearless leadership from our CEO and executive team. Liho and the team here at eXp really led the push with the contract changes, adapting and identifying and understanding the NAR ruling. Really, without those guys, I don't know that eXp agents and myself on our team would have as much success. They really led the forefront on that. Other than that, we've really had to take a stance on educating ourselves, our agents, our partners, and of course our buyers and sellers in the changes, how it's all working, where they can win, where the pitfalls might lie, and how they can succeed in a very changing, shifting market.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah. Kunal, what are some of the things that you've helped over the last 12 months or 24 months, as Gordon mentioned?
Yeah, so the interesting fact is I started my journey from 1st Jan 2023. So means what I learned from my seniors, that this is the slow period or the toughest period of the market. And that's where I started. And the best thing work out for me is getting the success or getting the transactions done during that phase prepare me that if the coming years are better. So 2023 was good, 2024 was best, and already 2025 is this month of Jan and even the first week of Feb, it's going pretty good. So I cannot correlate what the market used to be, even which I know as an investor, but as a realtor, I started when the market is already low. So all I have is to see positive things from here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Yep. And hey, you're thriving in a challenging time, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. All right, John. What about you? What are some things that you've helped overcome some challenges?
I think for us, when things started to slide on the backside of COVID, we tried to buy our way out of the market slowdown, doing a whole bunch of fancy unaddressed ad mail in our market. that effectively resulted in almost no leads, other than a few people pointing out the spelling error that they found, and so it was a pivoting point where I abandoned all of that and really doubled down on digital. That was when we shifted to the weekly newsletter. We have that super automated, highly local market data. And that's been just huge. So it's sort of out of necessity, our marketing budget got blown, and we had to adjust, and the adjustment is paid off big time. It's other than word of mouth, my weekly newsletter is my number one source of referral business.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, I think you're right. There's been a lot of shifting of our budgets of where we're putting our money and our time and our efforts, because we started to see things that were working in years past, suddenly we're not. And so that goes into the next question. As we have faced these challenges over the years in our business, when you hit a wall, which we all do, where do you go, or what do you turn to? Where do you turn to get back on track? What is it that helps you get back on track? And I know this could get more personal, but it's the reality of what we do, because we're our own bosses, we're our entrepreneurs. And so I know for myself, I have had coaches throughout the years, and I kind of slacked on that because of budgeting. I just was like, I'm good. And I think an accountability coach would be something that has helped me get back on track. And I just hired a new one. So I think that's kind of getting out of my own head would be for me when you hit a wall, to have an accountability partner, to get out with people. So that's helped me. But how about you, Will?
Well, I built the foundation of my real estate business, or anything I do, is based on discipline. So I'm very disciplined in my actions. I time block a lot of my tasks, whether it's prospecting. Every agent in our business should be prospecting every day. The best real estate agents are prospectors. And if you're good at prospecting, showing and selling houses is a good byproduct of being a good prospector. A real estate agent, I buy and sell houses. Yeah, but how's your prospecting?
Right.
And so you should be prospecting every day, and you should be time blocking that prospecting and just keeping in touch with your sphere. If you don't, everybody's got a sphere. Like, I always hear new agents talk about how they're new in the business and I don't know anybody. You know a lot of people. It does, just because they're not buying or selling, they might know somebody who's buying or selling. So,
yeah,
I wouldn't really say I hit walls, because everything's kind of streamlined for my business. There are definitely lower times and higher times. But you got to commit and stick to the plan and be disciplined to do it. And if you veer off and you start feeling sorry for yourself, a lot of bad things are going to happen. Just stick to the plan.
Yeah. Awesome. Great advice. How about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take this in a little bit of a different direction. For me, when things get tough, business-wise or otherwise, I think it's really focus on personal health, mental and physical. So if you don't know, if you're not sure what to do, you're not sure what to work on, then I think the best thing you can do is allocate resources to your the most valuable tool you'll ever own, which is your body and your mind. And so that's a huge priority on our team. We report on our weekly fitness appointments the same as we do with the amount of leads we connect with each week. And so we really put that high up. And when things get tough, I just make that an even higher priority than I already do.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Mental, physical health is critical. Absolutely. Yeah. How about you, Kunal? What are some of the things when you hit a wall?
Yeah, sure, Chris. And like you said, this is more personal. So I would say, when yes, we do see the failures and we do see the successes not coming that easy, and when that start happening week by week or days by days. So the honest answer is, I take a break for a day. I spend time with my family. I do a solid workout and spend time with my kid. And then next day, I come back with a fresh energy. And the thing is, I trust the process, that the process brings us the success. And just we have to keep relying it and keep doing it from the very next day. and keep doing the right thing, and it eventually click. So it's just a matter of a day or 2 or week, but we go
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Very good. Family is critical and helps really stay focused. That's absolutely true.
Yes, Chris.
And then last, Gordon, how about yourself?
Yeah, I want to say, Will, you really hit the nail on the head there. Being disciplined, showing up with consistency and time blocking and just staying on that path, you hit the walls a lot easier. They're more speed bumps, right? But when you do hit that wall, I found, for me personally, I look over to my partner, Tidra. We're building this business together, and I look at our team and think about, okay, look at all the people that are depending on us showing up every single day. And if we don't show up, we're failing them personally, so we have to look at our plan, remember who we're building with and what we are building, and remain focused. But Will, you really hit it there. Showing up every day, having that time block, having that discipline to do your prospecting, it's going to make this business less chaotic and a lot more predictable.
Yeah, that's very true. I think that's critical. It's like the discipline and the time blocking can make the walls that come or the challenges that come, like you said, more like a speed bump, and you can keep moving. Um, Looking at professional development, how do all of you guys invest in coaching or other means of education for your business to kind of so that you're working on your business and not in your business, like just professional development, other things that you guys have done throughout your careers that have really helped kind of push you to the next level? And Gordon, we'll start with you since we just finished with you.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you started with me here. So when I first started, I had an agent that was my personal mentor. He put me through coaching programs and things like that. So I found the profound effect when you have somebody that's keeping you accountable, showing you scripts, methods, objection handlers, things like that. It helps you grow as an agent real quick. Because most agents, they come into this business, they're not sure what to do, and before you know it, 80% of them are gone in a matter of 5 years. So if you don't have someone teaching you, it's very difficult to navigate, especially through some of the harder times in this business. So having accountability partners, having mentorship, and even having peers that you check in with regularly. So we have our weekly calls with our team. We have our weekly calls with our upline as well, and just check in. We have running chats and things like that. But I found that after 10 years, a lot about real estate, but you still need somebody to keep you accountable to the goals that you set for yourself.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Very helpful. Yeah. Thanks for that, Gordon. Kunal, how about you for as far as professional development or other means of accountability and furthering education?
Yeah, so Chris, we do a couple of things. We have a weekly, although I work as a solo, but among my sponsors and my downline and upline, we do have a weekly calls, and we are in KWC regions. We have a Lagos office, so we learn with the new development projects coming and the mortgage rules coming and anything what is happening in the industry which is going to impact the real estate. So we have every week one learning call, and there we take a question answers regarding the what are the rules, immigrations policies going to impact, and that's why we try to keep ourselves up to date. That's one area. And plus I also take personal goals. Okay, what I want to learn more about it, what are the terminologies which I don't know, what are the unique advantage or government policies which can help the first time home buyers or investors. So it's a two way of learning, one with the group on a weekly basis and one is self learning.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. That's great. Thank you. And John, how about yourself?
Yeah, I've had a lot of success with hiring coaches throughout my career, both good and bad. Connected finally with a coach that was actually out of the real estate industry, which I found to be quite valuable. Just allowed us to be a little more freestyle in our coming up with our strategic plan, and then get really focused with that strategic plan. So now that we kind of have that plan set up and are just executing on it, we'll bring in the coach to facilitate our annual strategic planning. So at least once a year. So, but prior to that, I was seeing a coach once a week for probably 5 years.
That's great. Once a week for 5 years. Wow. That's great. And Will, how about yourself?
Well, a couple things. One is I try to attend 3 to 5 events a year, with 3 of them being in person, and 2 of them being online. So that's a goal. I'll look at the calendar and see what I want to do. I read a lot of nonfiction books. Every day I'm reading something or listening to it in my car.
Yeah.
I very rarely listen to music in my car. I just listen to something that I'm going to get some value out of. And mentors, I'm a mentor to many, but I have many mentors. I have real estate mentors. I have life goal mentors. I have fitness mentors. So I have a mentor for a lot of different things. But you can't beat reading and listening to audiobooks. You can pick up so many golden nuggets from those books. And it doesn't always have to be real estate related. Mine never is. It's basically life goals related and psychology and that type of stuff. So
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Personal development as well as professional, because it's all one and the same and needs to be growing at that same level. I remember somebody telling me years ago that your car, as a real estate agent or as any entrepreneur, it should be a rolling university. I don't know if it was John Maxwell or Buffini. Somebody said that you should always be listening and educating yourself. And so, I'm the same way, Will. Like I don't put on the radio or the music. I've got podcasts. I've got audible books, just different things to really help kind of push you or educate you. And sometimes it's not anything to do with real estate or things like that. It's other ways of kind of growing your mind. So all that's important. Okay, looking at working and managing our daily business, what specific responsibilities do each of you delegate to optimize the efficiency of your business? So, the $15, $20 an hour jobs versus the jobs that are going to make us bigger checks in our business. So, John, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I've experimented quite a bit with this. So I've had a team of up to 11 agents, and in the last few years have really contracted down. So I kind of akin my business to kind of like a dental practice, with me being the dentist, and then I've got a couple hygienists that work alongside of me. So it's really, I have myself, I have a licensed operations manager and a licensed acquisition specialist, also known as a buyer's agent. And so my primary role is, strategic planning, marketing, concepts, and then client consults, seller consults, even buyer consults, and negotiating. And the team sort of does everything else. I don't really show too many houses. I don't do anything administrative related, but I focus on the parts of the business that I love. That my 17 years experience can really be leveraged, and everything else is handled by my two specialists. So it's a small team. We're 3 of us. We all have licenses, and we all have extremely defined roles.
That's great to have the licensed folks on the team that are really helping you kind of delegate and manage all the different daily responsibilities and have it systematized. That's a good, very good advice and streamline.
We make it really clear also when I hire, like teams run for different levels. I'm really clear. This is, it's the John Cooper show and you're a part of it. And, my agents they don't have their own social media pages. It's not a springboard for them to launch their business. They're here to join my practice. And we're really clear about that up front. If they're sort of looking to launch their own brand off of this, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but they're just not a fit for me.
Yeah, I like that, because I've also had, like you, had a larger team and now it's contracted in this market. And I think the lesson I learned would have been a little bit more clear, have that upfront contract that it's the Chris Hennessy team and you're part of I like the dentist analogy. That's a great way that helps me kind of, hey, you're in operations room 3 and you're the hygienist and I'm the dentist.
Exactly.
That's great. Yeah, I love it. How about you, Kunal? What are things that you've delegated responsibilities to kind of help efficiency? And I know you've only been doing this for a few years, but you've got a background with investing. So what's some of the things that you've done?
Yeah, so from my real estate perspective, all my digital ads and my digital posts, I have a virtual assistant who is supporting me on that time so that I can spend more time with the clients and customers. At the same time, I build a network with my local EXP agents who are, like, say, in Ontario and the different cities. Unlike my first year where I used to cover wider radius, now I am trying to focus and spend time in KWC region, and anything else I have a partnership where I have a referral network. So I'm still getting the business, partial business, but handing over to my other friends who are icon agents or the other good agents within the EXP. So that's why it is helping me to make something and also focusing on a particular area. That's what I'm doing, two things as of now.
Great. Awesome. Great. Thanks. And Gordon, how about you yourself in Ohio? What are some of the things that you've delegated to make your business more efficient?
Yeah, thanks. So one of the first things I delegated before we started building our team was the transaction coordination. I realized I could get to a certain point in properties under contract, active listings, active buyers, before the transaction coordination portion started to take a negative effect. So I interviewed a couple of the great transaction coordinators here in the Cincinnati region. Met a lady named Jill Jones. If she's listening, hi Jill. She's been phenomenal, and a lot of our success really depends on her and her team of VAs making sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed, every deal gets closed on time with no hiccups. That has really been the number one game changer for us, is to make sure somebody's watching our back so we can go out and focus on the things that will create success for our team.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's critical. I would say too that something that's helped me too, Gordon, is maybe 10 years ago I recognized that to have that TC and pay that person per transaction to get me from contract to close was so critical, because like you said, it frees you up to go back out and service other clients or get new contracts under deal. So you're not worrying about the UNO or the township inspection or the appraisal, or all of these things. You're monitoring it from a distance, but you have someone you're trustworthy in your corner that is really keeping things moving, and they're communicating well. And if something goes wrong, then you step back in. But that really has been a game changer too. A transaction coordinator and VAs are great. And we'll end with you on the delegation.
So I have an ISA. She's also a transaction coordinator as well. She does a lot of work for me, and the other thing I do is I have agents in my group. I don't want to start a team because I just don't want to spend the time, to be honest with you. I have all kinds of other things I'm working on for passive income. Mm-hmm. And but I align myself with the heavy hitters that are in my group, in my downline. And we have our own, I call it the generals group. And we kind of look out for each other and help each other. And as agents develop through our program and get better and start doing more deals, those agents then jump into the generals program. So you have to hit a certain target to get into the generals program. And once you're in there, you're part of the I guess you want to call it a team. I call it a collaboration group. And we just kind of support each other in that sense. It allows me to go away for 2-3 weeks if I need to, and it allows them to do the same if they want to. But I do, if there's an agent in my group that is not doing any deals, I will definitely, I'm lucky enough to pass that deal over to them and work with them on it so they get to know and understand the business, open doors, show people around, talk about the inside and the exterior of the house, and just to provide value to the client. So it's all about building those people up and helping them.
That's awesome. Yeah, very cool. You're right. Empowering other people through leadership and giving them responsibilities and helping them encourage in their way. That's awesome. Okay, the next question is kind of, some of you guys are on the tech side, which is great. And the age-old question that we're all dealing with is AI, and how AI is just changing the face of the planet that we all live on. But really, how do we kind of dial that down into real estate, into our business? What are maybe 1 or 2 ways that you have utilized AI in your business, and what do you see about that? So this is going to be some good nuggets for folks that are maybe starting out in their business, because I think that the younger generation is probably going to use this to a much greater degree than myself. I'm 56. I'm still using it and I'm learning, but I think my 20-year-old son is going to take it a much different way. So go ahead. I'll start with you, Will. We'll start.
Oh boy, I could talk about this for hours. Yeah, I use AI for a lot of my business. I've actually figured out a way to create reels and from script to record to edit to post in 15 minutes or less using AI. And it's me on the script. It's not some AI generated script. Although I have used in video AI as well. It's a really good tool. I don't know. I could get into this forever. I'm 50 years old and I'm a geek when it comes to AI. There's a lot of things you can use for it. I do stress that you be careful because as AI develops, people are getting more and more sophisticated with AI. You want to make sure you're coming across genuine in your approach. There are different tools out there where you can generate, and you got to know how to ask ChatGPT for what you want.
Yeah.
Which is huge as well. That was a learning curve that I think I've gotten to, but it keeps changing and evolving as the AI does. There's a tool I use called Quillbot. It's a paraphrase tool. It does a bunch of different things as well. So you can take what's in ChatGPT, whatever it generates for you, you can put it into Quillbot and it'll paraphrase it for you 50 different ways. But you can save yourself a lot of time for your business with the use of AI. Example, this morning I had a client ask me what are my top 5 advice points and top 5 hidden costs for buying a recreational property in Northern Ontario. Well, I spit it back out to her in 10 minutes and she was like, wow, these are great. Like, I don't have time to sit there and type
That's
out.
amazing.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, well, why don't you just use AI? Like, these are valid points. And I read through them all. Don't ever do something on AI and just send it, read it. I've my entire blog on my other marketing company's website, the blogs are built using AI and they're very good. But I'm also a believer that if you're going to build a blog, for example, using AI, you must know and understand everything that's in that blog. Don't just read it and understand it. And, you can go down the rabbit hole. I've actually built out entire smart campaigns on my phone using ChatGPT while watching a hockey game.
Talk about multitasking, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, like I'm not kidding. Like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be bored and it'll be like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm going to build out a drip campaign here that's going to have 56 drips targeting a specific audience. Like, it's, yeah, So AI and me
that's incredible. Yeah, it seems it's like you said, it's an endless hole of understanding, learning, and really creating ways to implement and to streamline what we do, but yet in an authentic, real way, so that we don't lose ourselves from it. Like, it still's got our name on it. It's going to have our personality to a degree, if you can, or your own voice.
Yeah.
All of that, is powerful.
My personal notes, the graphic on the front of all of my personal cards were all generated using AI.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Okay, I want to talk to you offline about that.
100%, Chris. 100%.
I have a lot to learn. To learn. Oh, thanks, Will. All right. Hey, Gordon, how about you and AI? How are things going for you?
Yeah, I so appreciate that. We're using AI in a number of ways that are probably not seen just with our software and our CRM and things like that, with follow-up. And, for example, we have seller portals where they can see their home value. They can see data that's being pulled in and then turn into really neat graphics that's customized directly to them. But those little tools, while it makes life a little bit more efficient for us, I don't have to run comps for 500 people every 2 weeks and then send them a report. AI is doing that for me, right?
Yeah.
There's so much more to this. If you look, in the United States alone, over the past 4 years, we've had over $500 billion of investment into chips and AI programs. This is not going to stop, right? So this is going to become more and more of a tool that we're going to use as agents, as business owners. as leaders. We're looking at a really neat tool where it's called Clay and combined with SendSpark. Now, SendSpark creates a video. You record a video of yourself speaking. It'll then pull data of high net worth individuals, potential home sellers, people that are relocating to your area, and then send them a direct email or even a text with a video of you that's completely AI, selling your services, talking about the benefits, and developing leads. So there's so much more to this that we're going to see evolve over the next few years as we're really just dipping our toe into it.
Wow, that sounds amazing. SendSpark?
Yeah, SendSpark.
Wow, very cool. Awesome. All right, Kunal, how about you with AI? I know you come from you said you have some IT background as well, right?
Yeah, I'm from IT background, but I'm nowhere closer to what Will and Gordon just mentioned, especially the Will. So what? But I'm using the AI for my social media posts, the contents, the reels, all that ideas are coming. And it's really saving the time. And apart to that, what Will covered also, if I have a certain situation which I have to answer, let's say I have initially when I was to prepare for a listing appointment, what are the key things to take care, what I should care. So the chat GPT is awesome. It helps you all your open items rather than researching on a 10 places. We are using it, but in terms of automating and all those things, that are the areas I'm yet to explore on the AI side.
Okay. Wow. Fantastic. All right, John, and how about yourself?
Yeah, so I mean, we use AI. We've had good and bad experiences with it on automated AI chats. We've had bad experiences. We've turned all that off. We find the AI has been trained on mostly American data, and so it tends to mess up the nuances of Canadian real estate. So we've had some challenges there. I actually kind of put out a counter narrative to AI. I even post content where I talk about in a world of artificial intelligence, seek natural intelligence, with this idea that for this like marketing for the sophisticated consumer. A lot of the AI is pretty easy to spot, recognizing it's getting better all the time. There's a lot of young agents in my market. They're putting out content where they're clearly reading teleprompters with AI generated scripts. And to me, it's a really weak look. So I put out, unscripted, unedited content of myself speaking intelligently about real estate as a counter to that. And I find it to be a lot more impactful. I think we're certainly paying really close attention to it. I think on an administrative side of things, I know my operations manager uses it a fair bit just from on an operations efficiency side. But I think on the marketing and the direct consumer stuff, I'm really careful. I'm in a small market, so it's really quick to mess up your reputation if you start putting out some stuff that's not authentic.
Yeah, good point. You're right. I think you're right. There's going to be a balance of how we can. I think Will's example, or that you answered the question about the investor, and that was a tool that gave you really good data points that are factual, and that you then read and say, okay, this is exactly what I would have said or would have thought. Versus creating content like that could look plastic, or that could look too scripted or too not real. I think you're right. I think people want to know, if we're trying to meet people that we haven't yet met via the internet, social media, and kind of build that sphere, and have people see us on YouTube, on social media. I think they've got to see us with all of our uh, realness and our warts and issues. They got to see us for who we really are, and that we're not we're people just trying to help you with the problem of transitioning in real estate. And so that's kind of keep in the back of our heads. Hey, we're coming down. We've got 6 minutes left, and I've really enjoyed talking to all you guys. I wish we were all like in the same room. We could go have a drink afterwards or whatever, but that's not possible in the world. But I think there's been some questions from the audience. I'm looking at the chat here, and Brian's been great helping us with the chat. So I'm gonna. You guys can see Hillary Miller asked us, "What's everyone's favorite calendar for a team to link to the website in KV Core?" My personal thing was Google Calendars. It was that simple that we were able to all share our Google Calendars and link. But do you guys have anything else at calendars that would link?
We're Google Calendar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Okay.
same here.
I'm seeing here if there's any other questions that
Another
were
resource I see on the calendars is Calendly. I don't know if anyone's using that or not, but it's I found it's pretty good, especially if you're having a VA or an ISA set calls for you.
Yeah, I use
Calendly
that.
works
I
really
use
well.
that. So that's my go-to.
Yeah. And Calendly is a great way to kind of have those appointments be able to be set virtually on social media. And that does then dump into maybe your Outlook or your Google Calendar or whatever you're using. So it kind of says, hey, you got an appointment, somebody booked on Calendly, which is great. And to have that through your system. So guys, we've got 4 minutes left. One of the last questions I was thinking about, name one thing that you could attribute to your success in becoming an icon agent so that we can kind of help the folks that are out there trying to get to the icon level or they're new in the business and they really want to see where we can go. So, all right, so we've got a couple minutes here. So let's go. We'll start with Kunal.
Yeah, two things I would like to say. One, have a goal, have a roadmap, how you're going to achieve it, because it's more about planning. Second thing, in your day-to-day business, when you're connecting, how good you are with connecting your clients. It's yes, we have multiple sources to get the leads, but they are not fruitful if we don't have that ability to convert those leads into the transaction. So two things I would like to add here.
Great. Thank you so much, Kunal. And John, how about you with the one thing that attributes to your success as an icon?
I always, I say consistency beats talent every time, and people overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year and underestimate what they can accomplish in 10. So just consistently showing up and being ready to do the hard work, say yes when you want to say no for 5 to 10 years, and then success is there for you to grab.
There you go. That's great. Awesome. Thanks. How about Gordon?
Yeah, consistency for sure, right? That's been my go-to answer, showing up every day, having the time block, living in your calendar there, and executing on your appointments. But I was challenged recently by one of our mentors, Monica Weekly in Cincinnati here. She's one of our leaders. She mentioned resourcefulness, and we've brought this into our ethos as well with our agents. If you're faced with a challenge, do you just give up? Do you look to someone else to answer that challenge for you? Or are you going out to seek that answer yourself and being resourceful? And once I heard that, light bulb went off. And I said, yeah, you can show up every day, but if you're faced with challenges and you can't find a way to overcome those challenges, being resourceful, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, that is so true. You got to find the answer. Absolutely. All right. And Will, what's your icon success nugget of info?
Discipline, and more discipline.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it, right? Like, it's like if you're trying to eat well and someone has a piece of cake and you want that piece of cake, you going to eat the cake or are you going to stick to the plan?
Yeah.
Brian's laughing because he knows, but you got to stick to the plan. Like, what are we doing here? I just posted in the chat the book that I'm reading, and Ed Milet touches on this a lot. What is your identity? If you're not an icon agent right now, what does an icon agent look like? And how do I create an identity so that I am that what do you want to be? What's your identity? Like, and you got to see yourself as that person to get to be that person, right? If you're constantly down in the dumps and playing the victim card, well, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to keep going down, but you got to have an identity. I think discipline and identity are two of the same thing. I identify myself with someone who is disciplined. And if I do those two things, I'll get to where I need to be.
Yeah. And I think for me, it would, along those lines, it would be mindset, because I'm going to be totally vulnerable here. I have had years of my business where my mindset was off. And, I think COVID kind of threw me for a loop. There are certain things that have thrown me, and I get my mindset focused on the wrong thing. And I think once you become focused on the goals at hand, and like you can actually envision yourself hitting the icon level or hitting whatever goal you might be within your GCI goal or your fitness goal. All of those things are mindset driven. And I think the more that we focus on that, along with the discipline and consistency, those are three things: consistency, discipline, and mindset, that will really take you to the new level. So I think we're done here. It's at 1 o'clock. I don't know if we're going to cut off or how things go. Brian, do you take over now, or what happens next?
Thank you,
I
everyone.
sure can. I want to thank you all for being here today. I mean, this was a great panel, Chris. You were amazing. You all brought it, just like I said you would in the beginning. All of you out there in the audience, and if you're in an active Icon benefit year, you do get a couple points just for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button. And thanks again, guys. We're here every Friday. Okay.